In this video, I'm going to be ranking guitar brands, some of my favourite brands, some of my not so favourite music guitar brands. It's 2024 and we pretty much live in the golden age of gear and brands, and the amount of accessible gear now is just unbelievable. So I can't cover all the brands, so I've just selected a few that I've either had experience with or have some kind of relationship with or whatever. There's be a reason that this brand is on the list. Obviously, these are just my opinions. They're not facts. They're not based on anything other than my experiences and my opinions. So please don't get offended. If you do, then just relax. My rating will be based on anything from their products to the company's history to good or bad interactions that I've had with the company. Whatever, there'll be some kind of reason, so enjoy. So first up, where should we start? Let's start with Schecter. Schecter are a brand that I really, really like. I know they've become a bit of a meme in recent years, the whole like Monster and Affliction and all that kind of stuff. But I love Schecter. I love the music that a lot of the Schecter artists make. I'm a big fan of like those kind of bands, and I've got Schecters and they are always really, really good, from their bottom of the range stuff to I've got some of their higher end stuff, and it's always brilliant. I love Schecter. Schecter for me, not quite God's tier, but I'm probably going to put them on Love It. Next up, I'm going to go for Headrush. I'm going to put it on It's Okay because I've used some of their stuff and it's fine. I had the Headrush speaker. It died after literally no use, and then I had pretty bad experience with trying to get it repaired. So, you know what? Sucks. My experience, my opinion, sucks. No, actually, it's okay. Like, I'm willing to let Headrush redeem themselves. I'm not going to put them on the bottom tier, but I haven't had a good experience with their stuff so far. So Ernie Ball are my favourite strings, is what I use. I'm not endorsed by them, but maybe one day. Favourite strings, so how can I put it any lower than Love It? Not a massive fan of their guitars. They don't really have a shape that kind of speaks to me in any kind of way, but I know that they're unbelievable quality, and I understand that. But for me, just going by what I use them for, their strings, love it. ESP is a bit of a weird one for me because I've never actually owned an ESP, but I've played a lot of them. I've never actually owned an LTD either. But for me, they were just never one of those brands growing up that really like excited me in any kind of way. And since then, they've never put anything out that's really kind of appealed to me. They put out those crackle finish ones recently. They were the closest ones to making me want to get an ESP or an LTD. But I can't deny their, what they've done and what they mean to the guitar industry. So I'm going to put them on Pretty Cool. Okay, so next up, let's do Ernie Ball Music Man. Well, that's easy. It's okay. I'm not a fan of their guitars in terms of aesthetics, so that's enough to make me not really want to pick one up. Shallow, but it's the truth. PRS guitars, God tier for me. Love PRS. Love the Custom 22. Love the Custom 24. Tremonti model. My favourite guitar that I own, like the one that's been with me for like ever, is a Custom 22, and I like their pickups. I like everything about them. I like Paul. I like watching interviews with him. It's brilliant. Yep, love PRS. Jackson guitars. One of the guitars that I want the most is a Jackson PC1, and I just have never been able to justify the price of a PC1. And they've got some really cool models. I'm a big fan of the Dinky, not so much the Soloist, but I'm going to put them on Pretty Cool because there's not enough of their range that really makes me excited, except the PC1, the Dinky, and maybe a couple of other models. But, it's Jackson, they're legendary, and I'm happy to put them where they are. Charvel, seeing as we've just done Jackson, for me, love it. I love so much their range. I love their mid-price stuff, the Pro Mod. Every one I've ever picked up, I've got one up there somewhere that I love. It's a Pro Mod SoCal. It's been fitted with a Sustainiac in the neck that's needs a bit of troubleshooting, needs to go back to the people that installed it and get that sorted out, actually. But love the Charvel stuff. I don't have anything bad to say about Charvel. All right, let's do Glary. Glary, that is where you belong. Don't buy a Glary. If somebody offers you a Glary, just say, no, thank you. I don't want a Glary, because I've played enough Glaries now to know that they are not even... You cannot even consider these things instruments. Nobody needs a Glary in their life. If you want to buy a Glary, what's wrong with you? Don't buy a Glary. Harley Benton is a very controversial one, I know. I have a good relationship with Harley Benton, and everybody I speak to there is really nice. So it's really hard for me because I'm going to put it in Pretty Cool. It seems so weird putting it above Ernie Ball Music Man. But the people there are nice. You can return your guitar so easily with Thomann that, yeah, there's a good chance that you might get a bad one, but you can just return it until you get a good one, because there will be a good one for a very small amount of money. And that means that people who couldn't necessarily afford to buy the instrument they want, then they can actually have something close to it. That's good. Ethically, there's that whole thing. I don't know. That's for you all to decide. But for me, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think down below. Ibanez, I have never really wanted an Ibanez. So for me, it's okay. I really like Dan from Ibanez. I met him at Gear Street. I've been on his show. And there's a couple of Ibanez that I really, really like. But other than that, the Iceman's cool. There's a multi-scale 7-string that I would buy. Other than that, I know they're brilliant guitars. The RG550 in yellow, Desert Yellow. That might be enough to move them up one. I've never been into Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, or any of those kind of players. Paul Gilbert, that's not really what I'm into. So I never really had those kind of influences with Ibanez. So I have to move it to pretty cool, because I just can't put it in It's Okay, because it's Ibanez. It's pretty cool. It's not for me, but they're very good guitars. Marshall should be up here, but are probably about here because they haven't put anything out for so long. Like, I love the JMP1, I love the Marshall JCM 900 SLX, and the Mark III 900 as well. Not the high gain dual reverb, that was no good, but those specifically. I've had a 2204 JCM 800 and a load of other bits and pieces. Nothing has impressed me in any kind of way that they've brought out in the last 20 years, to be honest. So, Marshall, you need to sort yourself out, because you're Marshall. You should be up there. Speaking of that, Friedman can go and Friedman can go and love it. Friedman are doing the Marshalls that Marshall should be making, but Marshall don't care because they're selling enough lifestyle brand rubbish. If you want a Marshall, buy Friedman. They're expensive. They're so good. Gibson, again. I love Explorers. I love Les Pauls. I've got about 5 Gibsons that I love, every one of them, and they just don't do themselves any favours, do they? Let's put them in It's Okay. Never had any interactions with anybody from Gibson, so they could be the nicest people on earth. Who knows? But judging by most other people's experiences, I don't think they are. But we can hope. Squire by Fender. I'm going to put that on pretty cool, because their classic vibe stuff, Fender special run stuff, it's so good, so much value for money. Playing a Squire 20 years ago was pretty embarrassing. Playing a Squire now, in some kind of ways, is even cooler than playing a Fender, because I'd probably rather play a hot-rodded, modified Squire than a stock off-the-shelf Fender. But that's just me, I'm pretty weird. So, pretty cool. Synergy, I've got no interest for that kind of thing. It fits a need that I just don't have. I don't have anything against Synergy. I'm sure it sounds really good. I don't think there needs to be something between analog and digital modelling. I think that keep them both separate. I was never a fan of the modules, like the Randall stuff, so it just doesn't really appeal to me. Diesel makes my favourite amp ever, so it has to go on God tier. I don't dislike any Diesel amp. I love the Herbert, I love the Hagen, the VH4, obviously, my favourite amp of all time. I've played on most of them. I've played on the Einstein. The D-Mol is probably the best value for money high-end amp that you can get, because you get them for like under 2k, and it's basically a more affordable Herbert. Tone City, I'm going to put that on pretty cool. No, you know what? I'm going to put it on It's Okay, because I like their pedals. Every Tone City pedal I've tried is really good. Their analog chorus, the Angel Wing, love that. Died within a few months. It was such a good sounding chorus pedal. It was on my YouTube demo pedal boards for the whole time, and then it just died. So that's annoying. So that means I'm putting it on It's Okay, because that's the experience that I've had with the brand. I would probably get another one and give it another chance, but for now, It's Okay. Yamaha, I've never seen a Yamaha guitar that I've been like, yeah, I want to play that guitar. I know they brought out the new stuff and people are really into that, but for me, it's okay. I'm never going to buy a Yamaha guitar. Fender, I'm going to put them as pretty cool, because they're not like Gibson, are they, in the ways that makes them very unlikable. They do something for everybody in every kind of price range, and I think that kind of really waters down what they offer, because I get it, you're in business to make money, but trying to cater for every single person is a bit over the top. So yeah, not really a fan of that kind of thing, but they make good stuff, and it's a bit more consistent than the Gibson stuff. It's usually a bit cheaper than Gibson stuff. So yeah, we'll put them in pretty cool. Rickenbacker. No. Ugly. Never want to play a Rickenbacker. I know it's going to annoy some people. Sorry. Not for me. Orange amps. Orange, they make some really, really good amps, and everybody that I've ever spoken to at Orange are just the nicest people, so I'm happy to put that there. Because it matters, and companies are people, and, you know, when they make good products and they're nice people, what more could you ask for, really? Charlie from Orange, really, really nice person. I met him at Gear Street, and everybody really likes Charlie, so... They make stuff that I don't really like, and they make some stuff that I'm really into. I'm really into the Pedal Baby with the modelling stuff. I think it's the best amp for digital modelling. It's class AB. Don't have any of the issues that you have going through like any of these other kind of class D power amps. I think that it's an amp that hasn't got the recognition that it deserves. Basically, I like Orange. Line 6. I love Line 6. I know again, that's one of those brands that's a bit of a meme. So like Line 6 and yeah, they got their spiders and all that kind of stuff. But so I got into Line 6 with the Pod 2.0 and then I've basically been with them ever since. The X3 stuff was just brilliant, really well thought out, really well designed, really, really roadworthy. Got some brilliant sounds out of that. I'm a big fan of the Veta series. I know that was never really a popular kind of amp, but I still use that even now. Like, I turn up to gigs with it and people come up and they're like, oh, Line 6 have finally got it right, haven't they? What is this? So this is like a 25-year-old amp. Big fan of the Veta 2. Obviously the Helix stuff, HX Stomp I use all the time. I really like Line 6. I think that they make some of the best stuff. And yeah, they make the Spider stuff, and there's better stuff than that now for home practice, like the Positive Grid Spark Go Mesa Boogie or Mesa Boogie. I think that they are, you know what? I love it. They're made so well. They're so reliable. They take a lot of getting used to. You need to really read the manuals and get to know exactly what the controls do, because they're very interactive. They're active. They've just got an active EQ, so every control leads into the next control. But once you've got it figured out and you can dial it in and you've got a good cab, you will get some brilliant sounds out of pretty much anything that they make. Black Star have been a bit hit and miss with products, but I'm glad that they're doing as well as they are right now. Again, like with Orange, Black Star have just got the nicest people working for them. Anybody you speak to at Black Star is just like the best. I really like the St. James stuff, the Silverline stuff. Not really a big fan of the Series 1 stuff like behind me, but that's really old now. But the new stuff is just, it's blowing it away. Like, I reckon in a couple of years that'll definitely be moved up at least one tier level. Massive fan of the Amps 1, 2 and 3, probably especially the 3. I thought that was a brilliant unit. Their gain pedals that they make, really good. And last of all is EVH, which make some of the best amps that you can get for not a huge amount of money. Yeah, they're expensive, but when you compare it to other sort of high gain stuff, it blows them all away. Like, I'd be happy to just use EVH stuff. It's so good. I've got a EVH combo, the 5153 1x12 with a closed back speaker. Sounds unbelievable. That blue channel was so much gain available and such a good, it really is like that kind of, it's not early Van Halen, definitely not, but it's definitely the kind of, the stuff that I'm really into, like the 5150 era and beyond, that kind of stuff, the more processed, I like that. Not so much of a fan of the more raw kind of sounds. For me, I'm really into the post kind of 1984 sort of sounds, but that's just me. I love EVH, I love their guitars. I think the EVH Wolfgang Standard and Special, just, I can't say enough good things about EVH. I am a big EVH fan. So let me know down below what you think. Do you disagree or do you agree? Do you think there's anybody that I missed off the list that really should be on the list? Who would be on your list? And just let me know what you think down below and we'll have a chat about it. Hope you've enjoyed Phil in the background, and thank you so much for watching. And I'll link to another tier list if you like this kind of thing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. See you later.